the difference of having expectations, going into the season, at least having a standard that you sort of know that where you're trying to get to, and that you've seen these guys get to before. Does that help in any way as you go through a preseason and training camp and that kind of stuff?
Well, I think they look at it that way. They feel like they want to be good, and like I said, the practices have been great. There's been probably about a 15-minute stretch during the whole preseason where I thought the guys kind of let up a little bit. But other than that, I mean, they've been really good and competed like crazy. And I think they would much rather be a team that have expectations than and they also don't mind being the underdog. I mean, obviously everybody's talking about, especially in the West when you look at all the teams, we're not going to be mentioned very often, and then that's okay. That's the way it should be if that's the way they feel. But we are the ones that's going to have to go out and prove them wrong. So it gives you incentive right there, I think.
Nico and Darius, do you think they'll play?
Yeah, they will. I'm pretty sure. They are. They went through practice and did every drill and did everything, the contact and everything. So I think they'll play. Yeah.
What does that add for preseason games at least? I mean, this is going to be as close to a dry run, I would think, as you've seen yet.
Yeah, I think, it gives you a little bit better situation to play, what could possibly be your rotation. It gives those guys a chance to get out there. And obviously, in our case, it had, spacers on the floor. Add shooting on the floor, so and it also opens up driving lanes. So just to have them out there and everybody kind of get the feel of playing with each other,
The starters have kind of been around like 20, 24 minutes in the first couple games. Do you stay around there, or do you try to go up with that soon?
Probably. We might play them a little bit more in that game, and then the other two we'll have to wait and see.
Do you find any difference? Do you find any difference? I mean, this is you've been here for a couple of years now. Is there a difference now between a guy like AD and Drew now that they are carrying a little bit more into this season? Just from what you've seen in practice.
Yeah, the thing I guess that I don't worry about those guys because I know that they're very knowledgeable about what it takes to be ready. When the regular season comes. So, I think they're pacing themselves. I don't want them to be in the greatest of shape right now because I don't know how you could get through the entire season. But, like those are the kind of guys that you just don't really spend a lot of time worrying about. And a guy like Nico or, a guy like Solomon, that they're going to be in great shape. But we want to get the timing of what we're trying to do down. So that's where I think that we have to play those guys some maybe a little extended minutes together, so they can get the timing and everything now.
Do you feel like you probably got to see a little bit more of Nico before you can feel comfortable with what the starting lineup is going to look like, or do you think you're getting there at this point with what you're seeing?
I think we got to still see a little more, but I mean, I got a pretty good feel of Julius and him also. And as I said, it might be a situation sometime where we alter the lineup a little bit, but at the end of the day, both of those guys are going to play starters minutes.
Is there any advantage to having a guy who can create offense on his own the way Julius can, coming off the bench, and to have that kind of, I know you staggered DeMarcus and AD last year. Is there anything to that, or would you rather maximize minutes between?
Well, I think we got to try to have our best players on the floor some kind of way. And, the great thing about our big guys is that they're all versatile enough that they can play with each other, You can play AD with Julius, AD with Nico, Nico with Julius, so those are the kind of things that I think is going to be healthy for us. But once again, we have to get the timing and the execution down because that's going to be really, really important for us.
Coach, have you had a chance to look at the rest of the roster and gotten kind of an idea of like the guys that are fighting basically for roster spots at the end of the bench? Has anybody separated themselves from one another or anything like that?
I don't know if they've separated themselves because, like I said the other day, if you would have asked me last week, I would have given you a name, and if you asked me 4 days ago, I would have probably given you a different name, and if you asked me today, I would probably give you a different name. I think those guys is kind of that close, but they're doing a great job. I think all of the guys we got that's fighting for those last spots have been you know, really, really good and been highly competitive. So it's going to be a tough decision to make, I think.
Thank you.